Welcome to Giving and Generosity. I'm Colleen Derrick with Swaggers Insurance, Party of Money Restoration. We are on 1.2, which is to plan or not to plan. And we're going to be talking about community and friends. So 1.2, community and friends. Very similar at that starting point to the family is why? What again is my motivation? Now, often with family, they've perhaps asked. Communities can also ask. It can be as small as the junior hire that shows up your door and says, hey, my basketball team's trying to go to the finals. Could you pitch in some money? Or it could be as big as your local school is trying to build a new playground, or perhaps your community is starting to have a performing arts theater and get that established. Lots of things that can be done in our communities where people are asking us for gifts of money. And then we have friends. Sometimes if a person has passed away and they didn't have insurance in place, or if they get sick and didn't have critical illness insurance in place, and I would encourage you to go over and pop over to Lillian's video series on insurances and what they are and how they can help you and your family to make sure that you have those in place for you. But if a friend is asking for that money, that's a very emotional ask. And so we need to go back and be very clear, okay, so I can feel compassion for somebody. Why am I giving money? I have seen a number of places where people actually have had insurance in place, and yet that's not been communicated to the community and the friends. And so the friends in the community actually do GoFundMe pages or set up donation funds and things to help the family when the family has insurance money that is meeting their needs, but they don't want to say no thank you and be ungrateful. And so communication here, asking the question, is really important. So when you're looking at your why am I giving money, it's important to ask the question of the community, of the person or of the organization. Why am I giving this money? Why do you need it? What else do you have in place? That is just doing your due diligence. Once you have that established and you say, oh, yeah, that is a good cause. Yes, I have an emotional buy-in, but I also have an intellectual buy-in that there is a need, a real need here, and that money, as opposed to time or energy, is the best solution to this need. And so we're going to give money. Then you have to consider, do I want other people to know I've given this money? You might think, well, why is that a big deal? Well, because if you give to one organization, perhaps other organizations are going to think, oh, great, you're now a good donor. We can ask you for money. Or if you give to one friend and then something happens to another friend and you don't have money to give to them, that could cause some relational conflict. So sometimes it's good to share that, yes, we're donating, we're pitching in, and we're proud of that. And we want people to know, to motivate others and inspire people. Sometimes we want privacy. Sometimes it's, that's just between us and that organization, or us and that person, for any one of a number of reasons. Once you have disclosed the gift, it is too late to go back and get privacy. So do your thinking first. Just consider that. Do I want this to be anonymous, or do I want this to be a known? The third piece is generosity. Is that best given as a loan or a gift? Sometimes a loan, an interest-free loan, is a very good way to support somebody and have some accountability and some buy-in, where we can help a friend maybe, and on our books, maybe we write it off as a gift, but to that friend, we say, well, this is a loan. Again, there are all sorts of reasons for this. And again, it's not for me to tell you why or when or how, but to say, hey, have you asked the question of which would serve this better? Would my friend or my community be better off with a gift or an interest-free loan? And how can I set that up? Again, would that be in one chunk or would that be in small disbursements? Which one's going to benefit them the most?